made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Yep, you want your boy? Go pick him up. He's over here on a fucking concrete where I left him.
On an individual level, we have to learn that they are vile.
Not worth the calories.
And you're Gen Z and you won't date me.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss. Welcome, one and all. I'm KC.
And I am DC.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen, bringing to you this and every week a celebration of all thing murderous lawyer gods and the actual coolest motherfucker we've talked about so far.
God, dude. I miss him so much.
It's the greatest. Head over to twogoddamngentlemen.com to cast your ballot in the Hall of Gentlemen voting booth, as well as find a link to our Twitter, a link to our YouTube, and a link to our Patreon, a line I will say correctly someday, where you gain access into our live Discord during all free and bonus episodes, including a Ladies of the Night recorded last week and a Shows We Beat coming up next week. Cannot wait. Leave us a voicemail to be heard on the show at 321-POV-FUCK. And don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast feed you use. If it's Apple Podcasts, you know what to do. Leave a 5-star rating and review revealing your ideal pubic hair length down to the millimeter.
Down to the millimeter, guys. Can't be clear enough about that.
You cannot ballpark it for us. DC, if you would please read back the minutes to last week's meeting.
So if any of you were trying to watch the show on YouTube, gentlemen or not, you can't because YouTube is still cucked. So they got rid of the entire show. Usually they just tell us we can't make any money on it, which is hilarious in and of itself. Oh no! Oh crap!
Shit! No way!
But this time they said no. It's a content ban, just like when you did Daddy 05 and we showed his kid getting mercilessly railed on by his older brothers and others. That got kicked off, understandably, even though I tried to fight it because it was on YouTube. We found it from YouTube, you idiots. But this time, all they said was the music was a problem, which it is every week, which is why we can't have the money, but still.
It wasn't the music, though. There was something, because the music is so, again, we don't make money anyway.
It's because John McAfee didn't kill himself. That's why.
Is that what it was?
Of course it is.
You know what? John McAfee.
Of course it is.
You know what? That must be what it was. Because I was looking through the honoraries, and there was one or two things that I thought might have gotten that show booted. But normally, yeah, they do tell you, like, hey, minute 23 to 26, you got to mute that copyrighted music, or that video content is inflammatory, you got to pull that. Like, we usually get notes like that every single week. This week, they were like, oh, no, this episode, no. We're not going to tell you why, but no.
No, you just, and whatever. Fine. More reason to become a goddamn gentleman. For $10 a month, you can get in here live, and you can't unhear the shit that we say. So, right. Casey, without further ado, let's get to the gentleman from last week. You didn't see him, but you might love him. Todd Kincannon, the crazy lawyer from where? Arkansas? Was he from, or Kentucky?
I don't remember, and I featured him 7 days ago.
He was not a gentleman. Very forgettable. -5.
He was great.
Which I think he probably actually did get some upvotes because John McAfee was very popular. He's totally a gentleman, +14. Usually you see the other guy benefit or take the brunt of having that many people on the opposite side of you if you're not a gentleman, but Todd didn't. So, who knows
Todd
where he'll end up.
And obviously from South Carolina, of course.
Oh, that's right.
Of course.
He's a Gamecock, that's right. KC, why don't you go ahead and do the top 3?
Yeah, top 3, and I'll do them in ascending order this week, not like the fucking idiot last week that went 1 to 3. Third place, Donald Trump +58. Second place, Mel Gibson +64. So I'm still holding spots 3 and 2, but out front, the gap is slimming. Mel is coming back for number one. We all know that, right? Like Mel was consistent for 30 weeks. The Harry Vox people came in, they got bored, they're gone now, they're not upvoting anymore. Harry Vox only a plus 75, it's down to 11, and Mel is on the prowl.
Well, dude, Trump is gaining on Mel.
That's true too. Yeah, Trump, by comparison, Trump has now gotten better. Speaking of which, DC the bottom three.
Bottom three, we have in descending order, we've got Jake Paul holding up the third worst at minus 126. He lost another couple votes. Joe Biden losing another 10 to 12 is down to 162. That's and impressive. Tommy Tudor. Big upswing last week, not so this week. Dropped another 12 or 13 down to 349 in the negative. His day is coming. His cull is coming. His enshrinement, I think. If somebody, Casey, we know that we're going to have to just, pull back on the gentleman at some point. It's nice doing the top three, bottom three, whatever. A lot of people get lost in the shuffle. So once we start taking people off at their year mark, if they leave in the ultimate gentleman spot or the ultimate miscreant spot, we have to do something for them. Like, I don't know, murder them or I don't know, something like that.
I think we should keep top and bottom 10 people until they wash out. So everybody, if you didn't make the top or bottom 10 by week 50, you're not making it. You're irrelevant. Yeah. You're not the ultimate gentleman. You're not the ultimate miscreant. You have been found out. So you're gone. But I think in Tommy's case, if Tommy, and he will be still minus 300 something or minus 700 something at the time, no matter what, he'll still be last. I think Tommy, until he loses that spot, right, you're still in. So I think as long as if you're past week 50, as soon as you lose one spot to the middle, you're gone. Right? So if you're 10th, if you're at the bottom, you're the ultimate miscreant. As soon as someone overtakes you, you're retired. Like, you're done.
That's it. Yeah, I agree with you. That's perfect.
Not that anybody cares. But that's what we're doing.
Not that anybody cares, but we care. Take it off our plate. So that's it for gentleman updates. Joe Biden continues to put his foot in his mouth, so that's been fun. Dude, a building fell. A building fell in Miami on a bunch of people. Probably some good gentlemen in there. Not all coke addicts, probably.
The Gulf of Mexico blew up today.
Did it really?
Yeah, cool. Pipeline broke, and it looked like a movie. Like it was water with fire billowing out underneath it. It was pretty sick.
That sucks. My gas prices are going to go up. I just know it.
That's correct.
That blows. All right, well, Casey, without further ado, I cannot wait to introduce my gentleman to everybody. He is older than anybody you have brought in, for sure. Older than anybody either of us has brought in. His name is simply Lot. Now, Casey, you're familiar with the Bible. Like, you know all the stories in the Bible and everything. So this is just a refresher for you.
Oh, he's older than all our gentlemen combined. I see. Okay.
He was born in 1600 something BC. More than that, maybe 2000 BC. Yeah, so basically the mirror end of the BC from us. It was a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
And he was actually Abraham's, who you might have heard of accidentally, if you went to church enough times. You heard about Abraham.
I do remember Abraham. Yeah.
Okay. So Abraham was his uncle. And I won't get too much into Abraham because he's a good candidate for at least an honorary. But Abraham was his uncle. Lot and his dad, Haran, and his grandpa, Terah, they all lived in this place in near Mesopotamia and Samaria. As you do back then, right? And his father died, and his grandpa was like, fuck this, we're getting out of here. There's nothing for us here. Let's go south. We're going to go, to the land of Canaan because it's banging there. And they're like, okay, awesome. And they settle, because he's old as shit, so they settle halfway there. And they named the place after the dad, or it was weirdly already named after the dad because the place was called Haran. But they settled there, and Tara dies at the young age of 205. What a pussy! 205 years old. Who dies that young? So
He was 205. Cool. That's impressive. That must be a record.
You'd think so, but it isn't. Abraham, at the tender age of 75, when this is going on, Abraham decides, I need to be faithful to the Lord. The Lord told me I need to go to the land of my inheritance. That's down in Canaan. It's not up here. Let's keep going. Everybody, let's pick up. Gramps is dead. Let's go.
I'm 75, 4,000 years ago. We can do this.
We can do this. Yeah. It's just the desert. It's just Iraq that we're walking through. So, which actually, I don't know if it would be safer to walk through Iraq then or now. I really don't. I would not care to do it either time.
Yeah, that's right.
But Abraham and Lot go down into Canaan, and there's just this crazy famine. So there's nothing for them there. They're like, shit, okay, bad timing. Let's just keep going further south. We'll go southwest into Egypt, right? Because Egypt is always banging. They got the Nile there. It'll be fine. So they go to Egypt. They get massively wealthy. They acquire all these cattle, all these sheep, all this shit. Shepherds. They got slaves probably, because they were rich, and that's what you do.
I love the this would not happen overnight, and the exaggerations of he was 75 when this started is just fucking absurd. There's no way.
How dare you?
He was
How
40.
dare you?
He was 40, and then over the years, somebody was like, "Oh God, he must have been 75 when they started that trip." It's like, fucking wasn't.
Sir, must I remind you, we are talking about the word of the Lord, and you will be respectful. So
Sorry, my bad.
So after they got all rich and shit, they were like, okay, now let's go back up north. The drought's over, famine's over. This is great. So they start heading back, and when they get there, the just sheer amount of livestock that they have between their two families, because they're not really a completely joint venture, right? They've got their own shit going on. The grazing lands are just too small. The shepherds are pissed at each other, and just the bickering all the time about whose animals get to eat when and where drove them nuts. So Abraham was like, no, we're going to separate. You go one way, I'll go another. I'll let you pick which way you want to go. So Lot is like, oh, hell yeah. All right. Down there, that's awesome. That's completely fertile. It looks like, quote, the garden of the God. So I'm going to go there. Mm-hmm. So he goes there with his people. Abraham goes up to Canaan. So technically Lot is now in the plain of Jordan, right? And there's 5 kingdoms there, or there were. I don't know what happened at the time, but there were four kingdoms that were united as states or something under one king. And everybody was cool with being under that guy for 12 years, and in the 13th year they rebelled against him. So Sodom and Gomorrah was the place that was the most rebellious, I guess, or something, or wouldn't bend the knee to them, I guess. So this king took all 4 of his armies after he found out they're rebelling, and just totally destroyed the shit out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and started taking slaves with them on the way out, taking captured POVs or POWs. And so they're going out, right?
Captured POVs are way better than captured POWs.
Whole wink. And sometimes they're the same. So Abraham hears about his nephew, which he calls in the Bible my brother, but I don't know. They're all fake, right? So I didn't say that. So Abraham heard that this was going on. He's like, oh shit, I got to go rescue my family. So he takes this army and catches up to this king's army, surrounds them in the night, and just ambushes the shit out of them from all sides. They destroy the army and kill 4 kings. They kill all 4 of the kings. Abraham is killing it, right? So Lot goes back and I guess settles back
absurd.
Yeah, he's like 90
Like
at this
Game of
point.
Thrones. Game of Thrones would be like, nah, they wouldn't surround the whole. They just took down 2 cities. Like, no, they couldn't
Yeah.
do that. No way.
Nah, no way. They couldn't surround him. But they did. And it happened. And Abraham basically got everybody out and all their stuff. So everyone was just like totally restored. No problem. Lot goes back to like Sodom is where he was living, right? Wink. Because that was the better of the two.
Okay.
That's what sodomy is named after.
Is it really? Okay.
Of course. So
I don't know these things.
so after this happens and now Lot is like married, he's having a family now. God comes down to Abraham in the form of 3 different men. Right? Of course. Like you do. No, they were angels. But they were probably wise because they're God. So they're omnipotent and all the other omnis. And
there's a lot of omnis now, DC. Be careful.
There are. Don't get them mixed up. God's pronouns are I and am. That's it. So God is in 3 personages or whatever, and he's talking to Abraham about how he's gonna go in and destroy the shit out of Sodom and Gomorrah because everybody's bad there. God's like, this place sucks, everybody's evil, I gotta destroy it, a la Noah. It's like my favorite thing to do. I really got a bloodlust from the flood and I gotta do it again. I'm gonna take this city out, right? And Abraham knows that Lot is there, and he's like, wait, don't kill everybody. You know, what if I can prove to you that there are like 50 good, righteous people in the town? You save the town?
What if I can convince you, and I shouldn't have to because you're God and you should know these things, but what if I can convince you?
Yeah. What if I can convince you that there are 50 good people? So then I guess Abraham goes and like looks, and he's like, okay, 45 good people. Oh, wait, 40 good people. No, 30. Okay, 10 good people. 10 if I could find 10 good people. So God's like, okay, fine. So the other 2 angels go to Sodom and Gomorrah. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they get into the gate, this is where the Bible story of Lot really like gets good and funny. So especially when you use the new international version, the NIV version of the Bible, every scripture in the Bible, unless you're like smart and you can like translate kind of in your head, King James version, it's like 1600, 1700 English. It's not funny, you know. The new international version says like, okay, this is what this means. And you're like, oh shit, no wonder. Like King James version sucks. It is, I guess, you know, the holiest of them, but who cares about that? The new international version works way better for my funny jokes. So without further ado, Casey, here is the Bible story of Lot broken down into nice little digestible slides.
Excellent.
Without further ado, Genesis 19, verse 1. The 2 angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, "please turn aside to your servant's house. Like, come on in. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." "No," they answered, "we will spend the night in the square." "Yet, jackass, we have to find 10 good people in this whole fucking town. We're not going to your house to eat dinner. We're God. We have work to do. We can't just know these things. We have to interview everybody, apparently." But if you show the next slide, Lot was very persistent. But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast. Oh, yeah, Jewish high five. And they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called
It doesn't
to Lot.
happen for the Super Bowl. What are they fucking talking about?
It does for this. They called to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so we can have sex with them."
Shit.
Yeah, guys' night. So all the guys come out, right? Lot is presumably a good guy. So he says Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him and said, "No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. These
Kids, once the kids are outside, they're not protected anymore.
They've come under the protection of my roof. My daughters, they just have the protection. So just go ahead and have them. Lot totally saves the day. Quick thinking. So, get out of our way, they replied. These women, get it out of here.
So the
This is
idea
Sodom.
here,
This is Sodom, you idiot. We want the men. Get them out here.
this is a place, supposedly, where any new male that walks into the city grounds,
Angelic males, yes.
every other male goes, "There's new dick here.
Yeah.
Where is that?"
Well, these are perfect men walking in,
But every man in the city showed up.
Yeah. I'm talking
All
like
of them.
Brad Pitt, Legends of the Fall kind of looking angel. Like coming in like,
I'd show up too. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mel Gibson in The Patriot.
Or anything. Yep.
Correct. So, let's see. Get out of our way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play the judge, talking about Lot. We'll treat you worse than them. They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But now Lot's fucked, so he needs help.
Almost literally. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Quick thinking. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so they could not find the door. Nailed it.
Those guys would be pissed, but not for long. Right? So it's okay.
Yeah. They're just,
By the way, as this story goes,
hey, what's this about?
God really in the right here. This city sounds like a fucking... This had to go.
This is a
Can't
nightmare
have
city.
this.
Yeah,
We
totally a
can't have
nightmare
this.
city. So next verses here. The angels are looking out, right? So they go to Lot and they're like, okay, do you have anyone else here, sons-in-law or sons or daughters, anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we're going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. You are God, you douchebag. Stop talking in third person. Why is God talking in third person like this?
He's mysterious.
What an
Let him
asshole.
work.
Yeah, God works in mysterious ways, like Mexican architects. So,
Oh boy, do I know a concrete floor that'll prove it?
yeah, boy, do I know a concrete urinal that will prove it.
Just go stand in the puddle. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah. All right. Next verse. All right. Like I said, the angels were looking out. Right. So Lot goes. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. There's a little footnote there down below. Pledged to marry also, or were married to. That's no big. Same
Either
thing.
way.
Either
Either
way.
way.
So.
What are they
Either
going to
two
go down to
things.
the town hall and get the license? Who gives a fuck?
Oh, well, here's the thing. There's two different things here. So when Lot was telling the whole town, just go rape my daughters, rape them to shit. They've never slept with a man before.
Oh yeah.
Their husbands either were in the house with them and heard him say this, like, just take these guys' wives and just rape the shit out of them, or presumably they were in the crowd of men and boys, because it was all the men and boys, and they came and they're like, yeah, let's fuck these angel guys. And then your father-in-law's like, oh, here, have your wives. And they were probably like, boo, we've already had her, boo, we want the angels. They were probably the loudest in the whole crowd, like, boo, no. This is our one night out, don't ruin this for us. So that's kind of funny to think about for me. Now, in verse 16, the angels are laying down the law. They're telling Lot and his family what's up. Lot hesitated himself, but when he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains or you will be swept away. Right? Pretty simple. Just get the hell out of here, run. But underlined here, foreshadowing, don't look back. Casey, next verse.
See, I
Oh,
really wish
go
people
ahead.
would enunciate that if they really meant it. Like, hey,
Yes.
do not look back. Not don't look back. It might be upsetting. I swear to God, whatever you fucking do.
Whatever you do, don't look
Give
back.
your daughter away for raping again. That's fine. Do not turn around.
Do not turn around. However, then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. Yeah, redundant, we know.
Got it.
Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities and also the vegetation of the land. But Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. Jesus.
A win-win for Lot. He got out and his wife turned into salt. Shit.
Thank you. Thank you. Casey, next image, please, if you would. This is an artist's rendition, an artist's rendering of what happened, right? They're running. There's like fire coming down from the sky. Behind them, there's like this pillar woman of salt. And the daughter's crying. One of the daughters is like, oh, shit, let's get out of here. One of them's like weeping. And Lot is just like, yeah!
He looks so happy.
So, not terrible for him, but he is old. You know, he's presumably 400 years old when this is happening. So, I'm just kidding.
least.
He didn't live to 400. He died at like 316, I think. So, he did not live to 400. That was a bad joke. But he was old, and he didn't want to run all the way to the nearest city. There was like this small little town, like this offshoot town. So he said to the angels, hey, will you hook me up? We're going to run to this town because it's closer. Will you just not burn that town down? And the angels are like, oh, fine. You're the most righteous man in the city, saving us and letting the town rape your daughters, presumably. But, you know, we'll do this for you because you're a good man. Mm-hmm. So, Casey, I want you to read the next one.
Okay. Lot and his 2 daughters left Zor and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zor. He and his 2 daughters lived in a cave. One day the older daughter said to the younger, quote, our father is old, and there is no man around here to give us children. Uh-oh. As is the custom all over the earth. Let's give our father to drink wine, and then sleep with him, and preserve our family line through our father.
Go ahead and read the next one, too.
Sure.
You're on a roll.
Oh. That night they got their father to drink wine, and the older daughter went in and slept with him. He was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. The next day the older daughter said to the younger, quote, last night I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and you go in and sleep with him so we can preserve our family line through our father, end quote. Yeah, she repeated
We got
herself?
it. Yeah, the writer of this was very, very,
Very literal.
happy about having to write this over and over again.
So they got their father to drink wine that night also, and the younger daughter went in and slept with him. I have a guess what's coming up next. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or, DC? When she got up.
Quote. Also known as rape.
That's right.
It's pretty much the legal definition of rape.
That's
He
right.
had sex. They
Dad
didn't
rape.
know when he laid down or when you got up. Casey, there's an artist's rendering of this, too, which I think is
would
really
hope so.
great. Oh,
He
yeah.
looks aware. But he's
He
drunk.
looks aware.
okay?
He does look drunk, too.
He does
very
look drunk. He does look drunk. I have been very drunk in my life, DC. I've been really drunk. And I would not have sex with either of his daughters.
Exactly. Casey, but every story, every true gentleman's story ends with a happy ending. So next verse, last verse.
I thought that did.
So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father.
Oh, good. Yeah.
2 for
good.
2. A gentleman is 2 for 2. Casey.
And it only at the ripe old age of 280, he was still firing out solids.
Yeah. And it only took 100 times. They don't tell you that part. Casey, wouldn't you have paid a lot more attention in church if this had been like this is the 19th
fascinating.
chapter in hundreds. Like it's the first fucking book, 19th chapter. It's real early on. There aren't that many people to remember at all by this point. You could totally get into this story. I don't know why they don't. I really don't.
I definitely would have paid more attention. You're 1,000% correct about that. Yeah.
Totally. Casey, I think that's all I have for that gentleman. Let me just Oh, no. There is one more thing. This children's book, I think it's a children's book. Next image. This is the story. You might come across these every now and then, like children's Bible tales, right? Look at this. Look at the daughter. She's like stacked and
Yeah.
she's got cleavage going on.
She does.
The wife behind is like half salt but half human, so she's like mid torturous moment of turning into salt, and her head is like a salt shaker metal screw on top. Comically,
and he's thrilled.
and he's thrilled. And it says Sodom population 2000 whatever, and then crossed out 0. So easy joke. Good job.
Yep.
Good job. And
who wrote that in the joke? Was it one of them, or did the angel be like one of the three? Was like, all right, you guys keep burning shit. I'll be right back. I got something to do.
yeah, I think the angel did it like the day before they came there, and
Creepy.
some people saw it and they were like, "Oh shit, that's weird." That probably means nothing.
There was one. You remember when Jesse Ventura, officially went super crazy? I know he was governor. He was already crazy in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, like 2010.
But then he went full on 9/11 conspiracy shit.
Lizard
too.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, he went full. And there was one time he was arguing. I think it was with Piers Morgan. Maybe it was somebody else. I think it was Piers Morgan, and he was like on your BBC, one of the anchors talked about Building 7 collapsing before it even did, and it's like, oh well, news people suck. It's like that's exactly the same thought as this. It's like knowing the day before, but Jesse Ventura just as likely to be correct as anyone in this story.
That's right. Also, I thought the subtitle was actually hilarious. The Story of Lot, subtitle Biblical Morals Made Simple for Tender Wits. So I don't know if this is for kids or just stupid adults.
I think.
Why would you say tender wits if you're talking about kids? It's really weird.
I think stupid adults.
Yeah, I think so too. So that is Lot.
What a gentleman. That's great.
Oh, what a gentleman indeed, Casey. I've got, like I said, a shit ton of honoraries. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure my first video is an old one, but, fuck it. Let's play it. The guy's a true gentleman. The one filming.
Skydiving.
They're in some formation. They're all holding on.
4 gay guys holding hands.
Yeah, keep your eye on the black shirt guy that's going off into the distance there.
Yeah, he goes flying
Way
away.
off.
Don't come flying back. Don't come flying back. Oh, they're going to smack. Oh, they're out. They got to be out cold, right?
Boo. Terrible execution. Terrible execution on that one. KC.
Tremendous camera work.
Tremendous camera work, but he wasn't done there. Keep going.
Time to fly away and save people, right? So, for the podcast people, skydivers just went fucking 200 miles an hour into each other. Now he's got the one guy. Oh, just pulling the chute.
Fucking well done.
Look at the Photoshop by DC. That's
Fucking
awesome.
well done. That guy Superman formationed to that guy.
He
caught
did.
him midair while he was moving however fast horizontally through the air and falling at terminal velocity or close to it. Holy shit.
That's
just
pretty crazy.
Unbelievable. Then, a gentleman always finishes, Casey, as we know. That guy's out.
Oh, he was out.
Hold his chute while he's out. He's going to wake up either right before he hits. That's right, DC. He's a pimp. Pimp status
shit.
secured. Casey, it's time for another one of our favorite segments.
This is going to be Russians doing dumb shit. Skateboard. Oh, no! No. That was not
If it makes you
the
feel
way your
better.
leg is supposed to go.
If it makes you feel better, that was a prosthetic leg. He was skateboarding with a prosthetic leg, and it just snapped
good.
at the joint. It just fell over.
Good. Makes me happy.
Yeah.
I looked away fast enough. I did not notice. I was like,
Yeah. Casey, these next couple videos are something I love because it's people getting what they deserve, like in real time and on video, which is even better. So go ahead with the first video. I think you're going to like this.
It's Lot's wife, isn't it?
This gentleman is getting arrested by some police somewhere, and he's not being very cooperative. He fumbles around in the back. I've skipped ahead. He's like kicked the glass a couple times, punched the glass with his fist around the handcuff, but nothing. Obviously, he's not doing anything. So he lays back and starts grabbing in his pocket for something. So go ahead and push play from there.
He got his handcuff off?
Yeah. I don't think they handcuffed him all the way, or they let one of them off or something, because he never had it on from the beginning.
What does he have there?
He's got a Zippo. Yep. And he's trying to light the...
Oh, shit! He just went flying out the back of the car. What the fuck just happened?
Awesome.
How did that happen? They get by a train?
The cop car was flying down the freeway, and you can see traffic going the other way. So they're going like the opposite way. I think they just took a bad turn into the shoulder or something and like lost traction or something, but the car flipped, and as soon as it hit the back, the glass shattered and he was out of there.
Oh my god, he was like...
Probably dead.
As fast as a like F-16 pilot pulling his fucking launch by seat. He just ejected out of that car.
It was awesome. So that's what you get. Don't get arrested in the first place, and don't light the cop car on fire. It doesn't do you any good. Next, Casey, I can imagine you being the driver and videographer for this next one. Okay. And being outraged.
Oh, I'd be pissed already. Get out of the middle of the road. Put your bicycle...
Awesome.
Oh, that's great. Bicyclist in the middle of the street talking shit.
Yeah.
That's where you're going, asshole.
Casey, this next video I have titled "Meanwhile in India." Got a motorcycle.
Side of the road doing donuts. Well, not good donuts, but trying. Oh, into the road and run the fuck over. Yeah.
Terrible execution by Jahit on that one. But
Judge DC is such a harsh judge.
He is such a harsh. Always 3.6. You know, always. Casey, this next clip is a golden retriever who's laying on a sidewalk, just enjoying the day. For some reason, a gentleman walking by him really triggers him, and mayhem ensues.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Just chilling.
Relaxing. Here goes this guy. Talking. Oh, shit! The dog scared the guy.
That dog's a
jumping
killer,
into
man.
traffic.
That dog's a fucking killer. Then there was more to this video, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to do the prosecution's job for them. That this dog basically just like barks after the guy gets hit. He's just sitting there like barking like it was his owner that got hit. Like help my owner. And, like people are coming to like help the guy, and the dog's just sitting there like.
This man is injured. Someone please.
Someone please get him out of the way. I see another one coming down right over there.
And a cement truck. This timing could be perfect.
Yeah. This one's going to pop. I know it. All right, Casey, this is my last honorary, but I think this is something that you could set as your ringtone for anybody.
Leave me alone, leave me alone, please leave me alone, leave me alone, please leave me alone.
That's my favorite. I'm going to do it. I'm downloading it tonight.
It's great. I think I'm going to do the same.
That's a beautiful.
All right, Casey.
Nicely
the floor
done.
is yours.
Nicely done. Get drunk, DC. Relax. Those are great. It's my favorite song. All right, I got a few honoraries, DC. To start with, this is a segment I've done before, and I will continue to do it until it happens. And this segment is called "We Are Going to Die." And this is silent, so DC, if you could just explain what you were seeing.
I'm seeing an Asian AI robot whose eyes are opening wider than that child in real life probably could do it. So that's a dead giveaway.
It can allegedly feel pain. They were electrocuting it, and it was wincing with pain.
Or it was programmed to recognize electrical shocks.
What should be pain. Yeah, of course, it's not actual pain. And then this quote, DC, if you would.
In Japan, we believe all inanimate objects have a soul, so a metal robot is no different from a human in that respect.
What do they
and
think
that's why the
inanimate
Japanese
means?
are not breeding.
Yeah. So,
because dolls are just the same as people. They both have souls, and their waifu pillow is, animate.
That's right.
Anime, but, don't tell them that.
DC, we're all going to die. And quite frankly, we should. Here's another segment that we do all the time.
Yes, crowd fights. Oh, no. Oh, it's a Clippers fan.
Just
What a bitch.
wild swinging. That guy fell down trying to get involved. It's just a disaster. It's just, you know what? Cut it. That's enough.
Yeah, people at stadiums, especially the ones who are fighting the people in the seats above them. Mm-hmm. Those people especially, they could really do with checking out a book at the library called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It would really help them out. Number one, get the higher ground. It's number one.
It's every time.
It's every single time. Get the higher ground and then go from there.
Oh, DC, that's great. All right, my next one. This is from an ask me or ask questions online. Am I the asshole?
Oh yes, I've heard of this. They
are
always
fun.
are.
Well, let's find out this time because I think we have a gentleman on our hands. If you ask
Interesting.
me. Am I the asshole? DC. 29 male writing this. Girlfriend 28. Am I the asshole for inviting my girlfriend on an expensive vacation and expecting her to pay for her share? Hello. My girlfriend, myself, my parents, and my brother and his wife all went on vacation in another country a week ago. My brother and I were the ones who did most of the planning and the itinerary, although we did ask everyone for input. For background, I make around $150K a year as an IT consultant, and my girlfriend is a teacher making around $45. My parents are pretty affluent, as well as my brother and sister-in-law. So they're going on a rich, awesome vacation. Sounds great. My girlfriend knew this trip was coming and took on a second job, waitressing on the weekends for several months to get ready for it. We have always split things 50-50 in the 2 years we've been together. There were a few times on the vacation that she did not go on outings with us. Wine tasting, scuba diving. She also would only eat 2 meals a day, simply stating that she was on a budget. My family does favor more high-end, expensive places. My parents thought it was very strange that she only eats 2 meals a day, seeing as she normally would eat 3 at home.
That's so weird. I mean, whatever. As she keeps eating her lobster, her stuffed lobster.
When we got home, I asked her why she skipped out on several of the outings and only ate 2 meals a day. He had to ask, hey, you weren't scuba diving, were you? Why weren't you scuba diving?
You really missed out.
We had such a great time. You really weren't there. So talked about.
I just thought you were taking all the pictures. That's why you weren't in any of them. But then I remembered, no, it was the Jamaican tour guide that we were asking to take our pictures the whole time. And you were back at the casino begging for ramen noodles.
That's right. Now I remember. Let's see. Oh, we've always split. Okay, we did that part. When we got home, they talked about why she was skipping the outings and only eating 2 meals a day. I mentioned how I heard her stomach growling one night and said I was concerned about her
This
having
is fake.
an eating
This is fucking
disorder.
fake.
Yeah, come on.
It's too much at this point.
Either way, he wants to know, DC. She thought he was wrong. Was he the asshole?
No, she's the asshole. She was poor, and she ruined their vacation by being the sad poor person on their vacation. She should have had the grace to say, no, thank you. I'm poor. I can't afford it. I'm going to stay home and eat my 3 square meals of macaroni and cheese and diced fruit cups.
Those are good.
Those are good, dude.
Done that recently.
Good. No hate. No hate. But you're poor. So if that's your dinner, you're poor.
That guy wanted to know if he was the asshole. This next honorary, he is. Deputies responding to a report of a stolen vehicle in Waterboro. Thought it was England. Waterboro early Sunday morning stopped a man walking nearby. Oh, it might be the York County Sheriff's Office, or it's Pennsylvania. They determined that he was not involved with the car theft, the guy that they were looking at. But they did arrest him because it turned out he had an outstanding warrant for theft from a Walmart. The man was brought down and processed, and he said,
Don't we all?
That's right. He said he had enough money to post his own $200 bail. So when the bail commissioner got there, he handed him two $100 bills. He's like, all right, yeah, you guys pick me up on my warrant, it's fine. Sadly, he was denied bail and was returned to jail with the additional charge of forgery after he tried to bail himself out with two counterfeit $100 bills. So he remained in jail.
You got to try.
And he's an honorary gentleman for giving it that effort. That's what I'm talking about.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Casey.
That's right. That's right. Finally, DC, a dissatisfied McDonald's customer is accused of threatening to blow up the restaurant for not including dipping sauce in his order.
Okay. Justified.
Yes, I would agree. Ankeny police arrested 42-year-old Robert Gulwitzer Jr. on June 26. According to Sergeant Corey Shendon, the suspect called McDonald's to complain about the lack of dipping sauce with his order of chicken nuggets. Phone call, this is my favorite line because I want to know the order. The phone call included a threat to blow up the establishment and punch one of the employees in the face.
Yeah, as he was smoldering.
Yeah.
Oh, I got skin char on my knuckles. I hate that.
He got charged with a Class D felony, so too bad for him. Cool. And then actually one bonus honorary DC. I threw this one in very, very last second. Mm-hmm. The story is about somebody who I guess could be nominated for our Ladies of the Night show. But it came to David Marsh, who is the editor of whatever website I was looking at this on. I think it was like The Guardian or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. David Marsh is the honorary gentleman here, and really it's just we're calling him out because this is a bad job. Here's a quote from an article he wrote. A couple of months ago, police were called in when red-haired pupils at an academy in Yorkshire were the victims of, quote, Kick a Ginger Kid Day. An isolated incident, perhaps.
Oh, my favorite day of the school year.
Me too. Everyone's favorite. Now he's quoting something sent to him. This letter is to respectfully ask that the word ginger is not used interchangeably for redheads, as it is a term that is all too often used in a derogatory fashion and is a prelude to abuse. DC Ginger, canceled. Don't say
canceled.
it anymore. Canceled ginger. And by the way, I read through this whole thing and waited and waited and waited for David Marsh, this editor, to finish the letter and go, okay, guys, now listen. We all understand that was the stupidest shit you've ever read. I know. I get it. But it was kind of funny, and we all kind of laughed a little bit.
Here's the new word we're going to use.
And go kick a red cunt. Go do it. Just go do it. But no. He played it completely straight, even to go so far in the last sentence as saying, we barely use the term blonde anymore. I can't remember the last time I said that word. I always call them silver-haired now. Like, what the fuck are these guys?
Oh, my Lord. It's so dumb.
No more ginger, DC. Keep it out your mouth. All right?
God damn.
It's gentleman time.
Let's go.
DC, I nominate Bill Cosby. We all know Bill, but let's go through it.
Yes, we do. Yeah,
Grew up in Philly, class president, captain of the basketball, track, field teams. Like, he was just all over the place. Mm-hmm. But a rough start early a little bit because he failed the 10th grade. But good news, that was as bad as it got. So no worries. As you do when you're failing high school, you join the military. And that's what he did. Worked with injured vets from the Korean War. I heard he liked giving them morphine. In 1961, he started his stand-up career in Philadelphia, and he was a fucking rocket ship, dude. 1963, famous enough to be on The Tonight Show. 1 year later, releases his first comedy album. Like a true gentleman, he was famous for his personal stories and none of that crass humor that you and I don't get on with, you know?
Yeah, I could take it or leave it. It's terrible stuff.
Personally could do without. Got married in 1964 to Camille Hanks, and I might venture a guess to say this is one of the longest running marriages in gentleman history. I believe still married to this day. Had 5 children.
I don't know, man. Lot's wife. I think they were together for 600 years.
600 or 700. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Bill's got some work to do. They had 5 children together. All of their children's names started with the letter E because, excellence. Legit. He felt
That's
he was
elite.
doing... It's terrible. He felt he was doing a lot for race relations in his act because he was universally relatable. Like, he was like, yeah, white people can sit down and be like, that happened to me too. Cool.
Yeah. Mr. Cosby, we wanted to give you some input on what your character's name is going to be. Dr. Huxtable. Okay.
Dr. What Huxtable? A Cliff. Oh, yeah, Cliff I'll take. Yeah, Cliff I'll take for sure. So... his star continued to rise. 1965. Again, we're 4 years removed from him starting stand-up. So now it's 1965, and he gets cast on I Spy on NBC. And what a stud back then.
Seriously, dude.
Like,
Looking like a young OJ.
yeah, he legit looked like an athlete. And even looking back at some of the Cosby Show clips, like he was pretty big, like well-built guy. One of the first black leading males on television, won 3 straight Emmy Awards. For being a leading man in a drama series. And he was still pumping out stand-up specials, like a half dozen in the 70s, 1 per year almost for a stretch in there. Or in the 60s.
And he put a part in a fro. Look at that.
He just does what he wants. In the 70s, he's looking for more projects to take on. He is now a regular on The Tonight Show. He created the Fat Albert cartoon, which I've never seen 1 second of. And apparently there's a live action version that he helped produce in the last 15 years, and it starred the only motherfucker that could have done it, Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, it was something else. Something else. That show is like the most racist shit,
Is that
according to the woke. Like, yeah, if you were to play that, you couldn't play that on TV because it was played up to stereotypes back then of kids in the hood, how Bill,
Oh, sure. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but now I can understand, based on a Family Guy joke or two, what was going on.
Right.
All right, so moving on. He was a pioneer, actually, at the time, in terms of he fought off the network putting in a laugh track on his cartoon, which might have actually saved us from that moving forward. 1972. As if he wasn't doing enough, he earns his master's degree. And then, well, wait, it was in arts. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Shut up.
Yeah, it's probably honorary.
That's right. He starred in a bunch of things I'd never heard of. Some black-led casts. I was surprised. I didn't know him. And now to DC's formative years, the 80s and the Cosby Show.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, I had the biggest crush on the oldest daughter, top left.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, dude. I used to think she was so hot. Oh,
yeah, she's pretty cute.
Yeah.
I don't know any of their names, but yes, I agree.
The one sitting on his lap is Aisha Tyler, I think. That's like her real name.
Wait, the girl who
in real
does
life.
the voice of what's her name on Archer? Great, she's awesome.
Yep.
That's great. That's the only thing I know her from.
There you go.
So he plays. We talked about it. He plays Dr. Huxtable, Cliff, based on Bill. And this show was a powerhouse. 8 seasons, near the top of the ratings, or at the top every single year. Just did a great job. Now, in the 90s, he did a bunch more things I've never heard of, but they all sounded great. And then finally, I found something I did see, and I might have seen it the original live. Was Kids Say the Darndest Things? It was a CBS.
He was so good on that.
It was so like his ability to talk to children and like get responses was incredible. And rewatching a clip from that, it is my nightmare job. Like, it's the job I want the least of any job in the world.
Having to get kids to say things. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nope, don't.
Yeah,
don't
I can see that for you.
Don't want to do that. So then things kind of slowed down a little bit. In 2002, he got the Medal of Freedom. Not sure what for, but I did want to point out, and I was supposed to put together a list. I did not. of the things that have been taken away from him. You know, like Reggie Bush lost his Heisman. Bill's lost some things here. Still has his Medal of Freedom. Joe, just in case anybody didn't know, Joe didn't take that away.
Good.
Must be an apologist. 23.
Well, Joe needs the votes for next time around, so he's not going to go taking medals from any Bill Cosby's. You know
That's
what
right. That's right. Now, after the Medal of Freedom, for me, not a lot going on. I didn't know a ton of stuff that he did from 2003 to now, basically. Honestly,
now you do. Now you do.
Now I do. The most recognizable shit that was happening was that fucking fat Kenan Thompson bullshit. I was just sick of it.
And he did some like Nickelodeon spots on the cartoon when they would play Little Bill or something like that. They did a cartoon of him when he was a kid.
Yeah, I saw that one. He did some voiceover documentaries that were pretty critically acclaimed. But
he did like a lot. He did like a lot of good things for kids. Like his career, like he did a lot of good for kids. It's very funny.
Now, DC, we get to 2014. And nothing else happened. That was it. Bill Cosby, absolute gentleman. The allegations.
Yeah, #me too, and he got right away with it.
the allegations. First, in 2014, 3 women come forward, including Barbara Bowman, who says that she was assaulted by him dozens of times. And the lawyer says, well, come on. That was decades ago. So, December 14th, a new victim comes out. Judy says she was 15 in 1974 when it happened to her. The lawyer goes, this is all extortion that's happening here.
Wait, 15 and...
Yeah, she was 15 when it happened to her.
Yeah, 15, but in what year? 1970 what?
4.
So with like inflation, like a 15-year-old was like 19 back then, basically.
Exactly, you got that right.
You know, they were already like sending their boyfriends off to war when they were 15. You know,
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's forgive that one. February 2015, 2 more women come forward and accuse Bill of sexual assault. So this continues. July of 2015, some documents from about a decade or just a little bit more prior are unsealed, and there's some testimony, some what do you call it? I don't remember.
Deposition?
Deposition, that's the one.
Yeah.
Some old depositions. Thank you, DC and chat. And these depositions and interviews reveal that he would indeed buy Quaaludes to give to women to have sex with him.
What?
So he was sad. He was sad when those came out.
Yeah, Quaaludes were like a drug of choice. Like back in the 70s. Like people did them recreationally. Of course he would buy them, but then people were like, "Oh, hey, this makes people really, really, passed out and unresponsive." I know what assholes were like. I know what I could do. These girls were like, "Oh my God, it's Bill Cosby. I'm going to come to his house." He's fucking Bill Cosby, thinking like, of course this bitch is coming over to fuck me. Why else would she be coming over? I'm fucking old, you know? Or whatever. Yeah, in the 70s, I guess he wasn't that old.
There was a couple of people that were like, I don't know why he did that. I was not going to say no to anything. December 2015, Bill, his lawyers, they're getting tired of this stuff. So it's time to take the power back, and he starts suing the alleged victims for distress and damages. So by December of that year, he's charged in Pennsylvania for 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault.
She's sitting there blaming me.
So 2016, court all year. 2017 announces, I'm not testifying in this shit. Middle of 2017, 53 hours of deliberation, mistrial. 7 men, 5 women. Hard to believe, but he recapped it.
And you're going to argue with each other. You're going to argue. You have to, because this is the only person you know.
and it was 7 men and 5 women, and they were never going to agree on it.
Nope, never.
2018, he starts doing stand-up again, and he got heckled. Here's a news story from that time.
Bill Cosby in the middle of his performance in Ontario Thursday night when a heckler lashes out, accusing him of being a rapist. Security rushes in to escort the man out, but as the audience starts to boo him, Cosby urges restraint, telling them, shh, no clapping, nothing. Just have patience, okay? The disruption, reportedly coming just minutes after Cosby made a joke about a female audience member who got up from her seat during the show, Cosby asking her where she was going.
She said something along the lines of, I'm getting a drink, and do you want one? And he said, no, I've already got one, and he had a big bottle of water. And then he sort of paused for a minute and said, but you should be careful about drinking around me.
Goddamn joke.
That's hilarious.
Goddamn
You
gentleman.
have to say the joke. You have to, no matter what. If the joke is there, because that's an amazing joke.
It is.
That's an amazing joke from the source.
It's a great joke.
Yeah, and the fact that he had the wherewithal to say the joke landed him in jail.
That's right. April 2018, 21-day trial, convicted on all 3 counts, sentenced to 3 to 10 years. About a year later, he is put into Gen Pop, general population, in the prison.
Quickly
shit.
establish what you don't like.
That. That's what you have to do, DC. That's what I hear.
That's what I hear too. Quickly establish who and what you don't like.
That's right. So
And stomp it out. And stomp it out immediately.
through the rest of that year, he's in jail. The money battles continue. The legal battles continue.
Mm-hmm.
Just millions of dollars flying everywhere except into Bill's pocket. November of 2019, he gives an interview that says upon parole, he does not expect to be feeling any remorse. May of 2021, so just, month and a little over a month ago, actually late May, he's denied parole. The Department of Corrections says, we're not letting him out. That's ridiculous. And June 30th, just the other day, released. And one more. So,
Yeah.
DC, one final clip, no edits from me. This is a clip from Larry King back in the day. Not great for Bill, but I was surprised at how they handled this.
Spanish fly was the thing that all boys from age 11 on up to death, we will still be searching for Spanish fly. That's right. And what was the old story was, if you took a little drop, no, it was on the head of a pin.
That's right.
And
Drop
you put
it
it
in
in
a
the drink.
Coca-Cola. Don't matter.
It doesn't make it, and the girl would drink it, and
she's yours.
Hello, America.
And she's yours.
And he gets a green light from Mom.
Had to get a little pudding pop stuff in there. DC, Bill Cosby. A gentleman? He's acquitted. He's out.
Hey, mistrial. The prosecution should never have signed a deal that said he would not serve any jail time. But I guess they did. But he only had to serve 2 years, and I'm shocked that he didn't get the shit beat out of him, or maybe he did because he looked awful. Have you seen him since being released? He'd had like a press conference real quick with like his attorneys and stuff, and he looked like my grandpa when he was like on hospice, like zoning out, like not really looking at anybody in particular, like grabbing at people to like hold on to them while they're talking and like being awkward. He should, but he would lose to DeSantis. So take that.
Go. DC, tell everybody where to find the stuff.
Go to www.twogoddamngentlemen.com. There you'll find the link to the Patreon. You'll find the link to our voting booth. Vote on every single gentleman or just your favorite ones. Who the fuck cares? And every 5 weeks we'll bring our new gentleman list of everybody, top to bottom. And that one's going to be coming up next week.
Next week is the full update as the search for the ultimate gentleman continues.
Something just happened very bad, is what happened, guys.
Wolves aren't gay, USA.
That's what you get for talking all that shit, you fucking asshole.
So there you go. Isn't that a great story, ladies and gentlemen?
Andre is shocked.
Bye.
Meeting adjourned.